I have been sitting here thinking about this team, and honestly, new Fox 32 reporter Devin Caney just dropped a massive hint that the Chicago Bears might be targeting Cardinals pass rusher Josh Sweat. While this is just a trade rumor sparked by an on-air comment, it confirms that the front office is still hunting for a legitimate edge presence to bolster our defense. It is fascinating because adding a proven veteran like Sweat could finally be the missing piece for a Super Bowl run. My name is Lucas, and the more details come out, the harder it is to ignore what is going on behind the scenes. Please hit that like button, subscribe, and drop your name and city in the comments, as we are a brand new channel pushing toward our first 500 subscribers, and every person helps us keep going. Let us get into it. Is it possible that the Chicago Bears are on the verge of landing a premier pass rusher? During her introductory broadcast on Fox 32 News this July 9th, newly hired reporter Devin Caney sparked major conversation among our fan base by identifying Arizona Cardinals linebacker Josh Sweat as a potential future Bear. While Caney was reflecting on her past tenure covering the Philadelphia Eagles, a photo appeared on screen of her interviewing Sweat following his Super Bowl LAX win against the Kansas City Chiefs. She candidly called him a potential future member of our team, causing an immediate stir among supporters who have spent the entire offseason longing for defensive line reinforcements. We are all well aware that our team struggled to generate pressure last year, totaling only 35 sacks, while Pro Football Focus ranked our pass rush as the 8th worst in the league. General Manager Ryan Poles and head coach Ben Johnson have maintained confidence in our current room, particularly in the growth of Austin Booker, yet the appetite for a veteran like the 29-year-old Sweat remains high. And the more I look at this, the intrigue only builds because Sweat has accumulated 55 total sacks over his 8-year career, including a career-high 12-sack performance last season. While Arizona has reportedly shown no interest in moving their Pro Bowl talent, industry analysts like Mike Moraitis have proposed that a 2027 third-round pick could potentially pry him away from the desert. The prospect of adding such a proven veteran to anchor our defense has ignited a sense of cautious optimism across the city. Still, we have to ask ourselves, would the front office really shift their strategy this late in the calendar to pay such a steep price, or is this just a case of professional excitement bubbling over on live television? A trade for Josh Sweat is becoming a genuine possibility because the Arizona Cardinals reportedly have an unhappy Pro Bowl pass rusher on their hands who could be looking for a change of scenery. This potential acquisition stems from the urgent need to address a pass rush that managed only 35 sacks last season, a deficiency that Pro Football Focus ranked as the 8th worst across the league. We know that General Manager Ryan Poles and head coach Ben Johnson have maintained public confidence in the current roster, specifically pointing to the growth of Austin Booker, but behind closed doors, they understand that consistent pressure is the foundation of modern defensive success. The bottom line here is that adding a player with 55 career sacks provides a proven veteran floor that our current defensive line room currently lacks. Historically, when Chicago has secured a veteran playmaker during the mid-season window, the ripple effect often elevates the secondary by forcing opposing quarterbacks into faster, more erratic decisions. While some might worry about the draft capital required to make such a deal happen, Mike Moraitis of Sports Illustrated suggested a framework involving a 2027 third-round pick and a 2028 sixth-round pick, which represents a calculated investment rather than a total depletion of future assets. The front office likely views this as a balancing act, weighing the long-term benefits of holding on to draft picks against the immediate championship window that this core roster is currently attempting to maximize. If the Cardinals are truly building for the future, as reports suggest, they might be willing to part with a 29-year-old veteran coming off a career-high 12-sack season to recoup value. As fans, we have seen how quickly defensive identities can shift with just one key addition, and the gamble on a proven commodity like Sweat could be the precise catalyst for a deep postseason run. The clock is ticking on our championship aspirations, and the defensive front remains the final missing piece for a legitimate run at the trophy this winter. While the internal optimism surrounding our young roster is admirable, we must acknowledge that a pass rush generating only 35 sacks last season is simply not enough to survive a deep postseason gauntlet. Here's the thing nobody wants to say. If we continue to rely solely on internal development rather than proven veteran experience, we risk wasting a golden window of opportunity. Adding a player like Josh Sweat, who boasts 55 total sacks across his 8-year career, would immediately elevate our defensive line rotation and provide the necessary pressure to disrupt the league's top-tier signal callers. Integrating a 29-year-old force coming off a 12-sack campaign shifts our identity from a developing squad to a team feared in every matchup. This move bolsters our depth chart significantly, taking the mounting pressure off emerging talents like Austin Booker and forcing opposing offensive lines to commit extra resources our way. Looking ahead, this upgrade is vital for our upcoming slate of games, particularly when we face high-octane offenses that thrive on time in the pocket. If we secure a reliable edge presence, our standing against division rivals changes overnight, providing us the leverage needed to control the tempo of critical games. Instead of chasing the playoff bubble, we position ourselves as a genuine threat to secure a top seed, fundamentally altering our path to the championship. Trading a 2027 third-round pick for a proven commodity like Sweat is a measured, aggressive maneuver that aligns perfectly with a win-now mentality. We need to be realistic about our goals, and investing in this caliber of veteran talent is the most sensible way to ensure we do not fall short when the stakes are highest. Adding a veteran like Josh Sweat could be the final piece of the puzzle for our defensive front, especially considering he has recorded 55 total sacks over his 8-year career. The upside of bringing in a proven pass rusher who is coming off a 12-sack season is obvious, as he would provide an immediate boost to a unit that finished as the 8th worst across the league, according to Pro Football Focus. The truth is, relying solely on youth like Austin Booker is a gamble that carries significant risk if we want to contend for a title right now. We have already seen the organization flirt with heavy hitters like Max Crosby and Myles Garrett, though those major moves never materialized, leaving us in a position where we must weigh the cost of a future 2027 third-round pick, as suggested by Mike Maritis. While acquiring a talent of this caliber sounds exciting on paper, we must acknowledge the downside of parting with draft capital for a 29-year-old player, even if he brings veteran stability to the locker room. The Cardinals might be hesitant to let him walk, and betting on past production does not always guarantee future results in this league. Here's where I land on this. While I appreciate the excitement from our new media team, I suspect the immediate speculation about a trade might be a bit premature, given the front office has consistently expressed full faith in our current roster. It is easy to get swept up in the hype of a potential star joining our squad, but until we see a concrete move from the front office, we should remain cautiously optimistic. We certainly need more pressure off the edge to reach the next level, but let us hope that any major transaction is made with our long-term success in mind. This potential move for Josh Sweat represents a significant turning point for our franchise as we look to solidify our defensive identity for the next few seasons. By aggressively pursuing a player who has collected 55 total sacks across his 8-year career, the front office is signaling that the time for patience is over and the window for contending is officially open. We should feel optimistic heading into the season because this level of commitment shows that the organization prioritizes success above all else. And I'll be straight with you, acquiring a veteran with his proven production would immediately address the deficiency that saw our pass rush graded as the 8th worst league-wide by Pro Football Focus last year. While we have high hopes for young talents, adding a reliable anchor like Sweat provides the stability required to make a deep postseason run. It is the missing piece that could turn a good unit into a championship-caliber defense. If the price is indeed a 2027 third-round pick, as suggested by Mike Maritis, would you be willing to part with that draft capital to secure a proven 12-sack pass rusher right now? It is a gamble, but one that reflects the urgency we expect from a team focused on winning it all. If you enjoyed the video, do not forget to like it and subscribe to the channel. We are still pushing toward our first 500 subscribers, and every one of you helps us get there. Bear down. I'll see you in the next one. Meanwhile, keep your eyes peeled for our upcoming deep dive into the draft prospects who could finally bolster that offensive line. We have spent hours analyzing the tape to bring you the best insight possible. Stay tuned for those updates, and as always, thank you for supporting this growing community.